Okay, this is your warm-up help for week 3. Remember, if your score was below a 70 on the warm-up, copy these problems down on a sheet of paper, turn it into your teacher next week. We'll bump your grade up to a passing grade. Okay, the very first one is 22 plus 10 plus 11. I put my decimals there so I know to line them up. So it's going to be 22 plus 10 plus 11. As I add this up, I get 3, I get 4. My answer is 43. Okay, number 3 was a subtraction problem. Again, I know my decimals are at the end, so when I line those up, first I'm going to follow my order of operations. I'm going to say 18 minus 3, which would be 15. And then I'm going to add 14 to this, which would be 29. So my answer for number 2 is 29. Okay, first, number 3, it says 4, and the parentheses means times. So I'm going to do 4 times 3, which is 12. And then I'm going to add my 37. My decimals are at the end. So 2 plus 7 is 9. 1 plus 3 is 4. My answer is 49. Number 4 is 120 divided by 10. So if I put it in my sled here, my box, move my decimal up. Does 10 go into 1? The answer is no. Does 10 go into 12? The answer is 1 time. Does 10 go into 20? 2 times. So my answer to this problem is 12. Okay, number 5 was fractions. Now, you could have simplified this first. It would have been easier if you knew that 2/4 is equal to 1/2 and 4/4 is 1. You're going to get the fraction easier. But if you did not do that, you would have to add them. You keep the same denominator. So 2 plus 4 is 6. It's an improper fraction. So you want to divide it out. 4 will go into 6 1 time. You get 1 and 2/4, but again, 2/4 can be simplified to 1/2. So the answer to this problem is 1 1/2. So this one right here would be 1 1/2. So on number 6, again, I have like fractions, meaning the denominator is the same. So I'm just going to add or subtract the numerators. So 5 minus 4 is 1. So my answer to that is 1/6. So number 7, I'm multiplying. I do not need to have common denominators. I can just multiply straight across. So 4 times 2 is 8. 6 times 3 is 18. Where 8/18 is correct, it's not simplified. So if I put it in my sled, what would go into 8 and 18? 2. 2 goes into 8 4 times. 2 goes into 18 9 times. So this right here is my simplified answer. So 8/18 simplified is 4 9s. On number 8, remember we had to change the problem because I made a mistake. So it's dividing fractions. So what you need to remember is keep, change, flip. So keep means you keep the first fraction. That's a 10. Change means you change it to the opposite, which is multiplication. Flip, you take the reciprocal. Now you can just multiply straight across. 4 times 6 is 24. 10 times 2 is 20. Where that's an improper fraction, you're going to divide it out. 20 does not go into 2. 20 will go into 24 1 time with 4 left over, so you go clockwise. So my answer for 1 and 4/20. But 4/20 can be simplified. 4 will go into 4 1 time. 4 goes into 25. So my correct final answer is 1 1/5. Okay, number 9 is a word problem. It says Mr. Banks makes 8 hamburger patties. So I'm going to put 8 right there in my sled. He buys 6 packages of hamburger buns. So I got 8 and 6. I want to find So Mr. Bank buys enough hamburger buns and ground beef so that there's the same number of hamburger patties and buns. What's the least number? That tells me I'm doing LCM. So I'm going to factor out a 2 because they're both even. 2 goes into 8 4 times. 2 goes into 6 3 times. The only thing that goes in 4 and 3 is 1, so I am done. Since I'm finding LCM, it's all of them. So 2 times 4 is 8, times 3 is 24, which is D. Number 10 says, what is the greatest common factor of 27 and 63? Again, I put it in the sled. There's different numbers I can use for this, but since 2 plus 7 is 9, 6 plus 3 is 9, I know 9 will go into both of those numbers. So 9 goes into 27 3 times. 9 will go into 63 7 times. Since 3 and 7 are both prime, the only thing that goes into is 1, so I am done. And GCF is to the left, so my answer is 9. Okay, number 11 is a word problem. So Mrs. Evans has 120 crayons and 30 pieces of paper to give to her students. She wants to find the largest amount. So you know I'm doing GCF. So as I put my numbers in my sled, I can use many different numbers, but the first thing that comes to my mind is 10. That's 12 and 3. Now, as I look at 12 and 3, I know I can use 3, 4, and 1. GCF is to the left, so 10 times 3 is 30. Okay, number 12, 2 bikers are riding a circular path. The first rider completes a round in 12 minutes, the second rider in 18 minutes. They both start at the same place in the same directions. How many minutes will they meet again? So this is telling me I'm doing LCM because something's repeating. So I'm going to put 12 and 18. I'm going to put it in my sled. Well, the first thing that comes to my mind is 2. I'm going to get 6. I'm going to get 9. Next thing that comes to my mind is 3. 3 will go into 6 2 times. 3 will go into 9 3 times. The only thing that would go into 2 and 3 is 1. So I'm done. GCF is to the left, but LCM is all of them. So I know 2 times 3 is 6. 6 times 2 is 12. 12 times 3 is 36. So my answer will be 36 minutes. Okay, number 13. Rosa is making a game board that is 16 inches by 24. She wants to find the largest number. Largest means I'm going to find GCF, which is the greatest. I'm going to put my numbers in my sled, 16 and 24. Now there's different numbers I can use. I'm going to start with 2 because they're both even. 2 will go into 16. 2 will go into 16 8 times. 2 will go into 24 12. Again, they're both even. I'm going to use 2. 2 goes into 8 4 times. 2 goes into 12 6. Again, they're both even. I'm going to use 2. 2 goes into 4 2 times. 2 into 6 3 times. The only thing that goes into 2 and 3 is 1, so I am done. GCF is to the left, so I'm going to multiply 2 times 2 times 2, and that is 8. So my answer will be 8 inches. Number 14, it says Z100 gave away a Z100 bill for every 100th caller. Every 30th caller received a free concert ticket. How many callers must get through before they receive both the coupon and a concert ticket? So this is something that's going to be both. It's going to be LCM. So I put my 100, put my 30 in the sled. I'm going to see what goes into both. First thing that comes to mind is a 10. 10 will go into 100 10 times. 10 will go into 33 times. The only thing that goes into 10 and 3 is 1, so I'm done. GCF is to the left. LCM is all of them. So I'm going to multiply. 10 times 10 is 100. 100 times 3 is 300. So my answer is 300. Make sure you copy this down and give it to your teacher next week. Have a good Labor Day.